Hi, I am Jen Thompson, and I am the director of the Secret Garden here at Denver Center.
My name is Wilson Chin, and I'm the set designer for the Secret Garden.
It's a big story. There's a lot in this story. It's a lot of kind of lost and wounded people looking for each other and finding each other in forgiveness and redemption. And at the center is this magical, wounded little girl who has this incredible journey.
As part of the design, I've tried to tell that story from that point of view, about how you can go from the darkest place in your life and come out of it.
It's such a great world because we started in colonial India, so we started in this really exotic place.
And we define that with a lot of color and saturated life. It's full of reds, hot blues.
And then she's whisked off to North England where it's like freezing and bleak and completely different, and she really begins her story there.
When we go to the manor, Uncle Archibald's place, it's dark.
It's sort of a haunted house. She's sort of trapped with these other people and these ghosts from her past and from the past of, her uncle.
It's dark woods, it's really tall and oppressive. The house is just full of sadness.
And then we have the natural world, which is the heath and the moors and what that represents and what she ends up turning that into, and this gorgeous garden that she brings back to life.
And that is full of light. So it's about light and dark, and when we go from one world to the next, sometimes we kind of blind the audience with going from dark to light, so that when you feel that light, you feel the warmth, you feel the life, you really feel like there's hope for grief.
I'm so excited to be doing it in this particular theater. I think the thrust stage really helps this story because it sort of just delivers it directly into the laps of the audience. One of the things we both really wanted to take advantage of was, we have this great elevator system here. I loved the idea, and I know Wilson did too, of things growing out of the stage. We felt like that was a great metaphor for what was happening in the show, and being able to use that, and that's an unusual element. You don't get that at every theater. In a musical or any show that has a lot of scenes and a lot of transitions, how are we going to move it? How are we going to feel it flow? And I really never wanted it to be like blackouts and scenes and restarts. I wanted the whole thing to sort of feel, like a dream, like it was in perpetual motion.
Working with small actors is definitely part of the design process because we were able to make little things. There's 3 beds in the show, which typically in a theater is like a massive amount of space, but these are kids, so they're actually smaller beds. And the Secret Garden door is actually kind of quite small. The manor is supposed to be really huge and imposing and designed from the perspective of a kid, this scary haunted house basically. In designing the manor wall, it was all about scale and making things as operatically large as possible so that you can imagine how scared that kid must feel in it.
The perception of it is that it's a kid's show, but it really isn't a kid's show. I mean, it's certainly about kids, and it's a great family show, but this has some very serious, grown-up, deep themes. Really what I think is great about it is that it's a ride for the entire family to go on, and I think it would spark a lot of really beautiful, interesting conversations afterwards.